Hi, welcome to Downshift. My name is Matt. And this is what Gatsby would drive if he were around today. The SL, the embodiment of Mercedes heritage. In more recent years though, it's lacked a little luster. However, all that has changed with this new generation. So thanks to Mercedes-Benz of Milwaukee for letting me have a go in their new SL63 AMG. And here's the recipe for the new one. Neck-snapping looks, a mind-blowingly powerful engine, and one of the best sounds in the car industry today. But if you need a little more details as to what's going on here, under the hood you have the 4-liter bi-turbo V8 making 577 horsepower and 590 pound-feet of torque. All that power goes through the snappy AMG 9-speed I love so much and makes its way to all 4 wheels as standard. In this range-topping 63, 0 to 60 is good for 3.5 seconds. And yes, that's very quick, but if I'm honest, it could be 6 seconds. I really don't care as long as it sounds like this. And as long as the shifts do this. This L actually only comes as a V8 AMG, so drama and performance come as standard. But that also means the 55 trim starts at $140,000, while this full 63 tune starts at $160,000. But here's the thing. Yes, even though it only comes as an AMG, to me it feels more like a GT car than a full pedigree sports cabriolet. Yes, it's quick, and the transmission is sharp, and yes, the chassis and suspension keep it composed, and yes, it has 4-wheel steering, and yet, it's just not got quite the same personality of a sports car. It has the personality that more befits the GT family. And it's 5 inches longer than it was last generation, which means added weight and added size, and again, inherently that leans it more towards the GT side. However, don't for 1 second think that this means it's any less of a good car. I mean, my favorite car on sale today is a GT car, and after driving this, I may have to rethink that top spot. This SL is still a GT, but it's more sports car than it has been in a long time. Incredible engine, phenomenal gearbox, all-wheel drive traction, and a thunderous exhaust. And yet it still manages to do the Benz side of the equation too. Dialed back, the suspension softens off, the steering lightens up, the engine relaxes a bit, and even with the roof off, you have a shockingly civilized ride. I'm very impressed with the new SL so far, but with that, let's step outside so we can appreciate the looks of this thing. Okay, so obviously I'm a big fan of this SL behind the wheel, but this is also one of those cars that you buy and you just, every time you walk away from it, you can't help but look back like 3 or 4 times. I mean, look at it! It still subscribes to the classic SL recipe, long hood with a roof that comes off. However, this guy now comes as a 2+2, so it more directly competes with things like 911s. But around the body you can see evidence that it's thoroughly more modern Mercedes. Pan-Americana grille, new lower fascia we can see in the new C63 as well, power dome hood, front fender faux vent, of course, 20-inch wheels wrapped in Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires, an excellent tire for something like this. And just like all Audi convertibles get a silver A-pillar, each SL gets a black windshield surround. Retractable door handles, of course, and then the rear quarter smoothly curves into the rear fascia. The taillights are an identical shape to the headlights but flipped upside down. You get a retractable spoiler and, of course, the classic rectangle-shaped quad AMG tips. But most notably, the soft top is back, and I think it fits more aesthetically to the car, but it also has some sporting properties like keeping weight lower and keeping weight lower in the center of gravity of the car. Of course, this being an AMG, it does have those sporting tendencies. But as good as this thing is on the outside, there's just as cool stuff going on the inside. Let me show you what I mean. So, while the behind the wheel experience can be very AMG, the interior is pinnacle Mercedes. Gorgeous design, excellent materials, and even with the ragtop, the cabin isolation is impeccable. The toperation controls, along with pretty much everything else, is controlled in the screen. The screen itself, though, is brilliant. It's the new Amg system, which is lovely. It's totally customizable. It shows you cool stuff like telemetry, and it has this handy feature where you can adjust the angle of the screen. You know, like to keep the glare off when you have the top down. I mean, they've thought of everything. Of course, you get your normal stuff like Apple CarPlay, digital cluster, head-up display, your 360 cameras are excellent, your safety suite is comprehensive, and you get great luxuries like heated and cooled seats, massage seats, heated steering wheel, and the awesome air scarf for those cool fall days or when it's snowing like today. But one of my favorite things is the AMG steering wheel. It's got customizable buttons for your drive modes and individual features. You've got Mercedes-Benz user experience controls, media controls, and autopilot controls. And yes, while it's now a more 911 type competitor with a 2+2 cabin, it's also more 911 in the sense that the rear seats are kind of unusable. This interior takes all of the AMG performance and swaddles it in the luxury that only Benz can. So I think with that, we should get into the final thoughts. So the new SL63 AMG. It's a lot of money, but there's a lot of performance there. The drama's there, the theater is there, and the personality and character is there. The luxury is there, and the features are there too. There isn't really anything this car misses on. So if I had the money, this SL would definitely get a lingering look. Thanks again to Mercedes-Benz of Milwaukee for letting me have a go in such a special car.